Time for number 32 in my Best Picture Marathon. Best Picture Marathon theme song. William Wyler directed two Best Picture winners during the 1940s, both of which had to do with World War II. Wyler's third Best Picture winner was Ben-Hur, which is not about World War II, but it does have to do with the Jewish population being oppressed, subjugated, and persecuted by a tyrannical authoritarian regime. The novel Ben-Hur had already been adapted once during the silent era, but the 1959 version starring Charlton Heston is arguably the most iconic. It's certainly the most successful. At the time of its release, it became the second highest grossing movie of all time, beaten only by Gone with the Wind. To date, Ben-Hur is the last Best Picture winner ever produced by MGM, and the film was so successful that it actually saved the studio from financial ruin. The movie tells the story of a Jewish prince in Judea, Judah Ben-Hur. His childhood friend Masala is now a Roman tribune, and after reuniting with Judah, Masala asks Judah to hand over the names of Jewish citizens in Judea who might be opposed to the Roman government. Some echoes of McCarthyism there, I think. Judah refuses to name names, and through a series of circumstances, Masala decides to punish his perceived betrayer. Judah is arrested and held without trial before being sent off far from home. He begins a years-long quest to return and get his vengeance on Masala. All of this is intertwined with the story of the life of Jesus, whom Ben-Hur encounters while he's a slave and Jesus gives him water. This portrait of Jesus and his ideas of mercy and forgiveness are a strong counterpoint to Judah's quest for vengeance. Even though the movie explores some outwardly Christian ideas and images, Wyler wanted to make a film that would have appeal across religious boundaries. He later quipped that it took a Jew to finally make a good movie about Jesus. And of course, Wyler connected with the idea of an explicitly Jewish protagonist. At the time of its production, Ben-Hur was the most expensive movie ever made. It had the biggest sets and the most costumes. It is a monumental film in every conceivable way. A large part of the production took place in Italy, with something like 300 sets constructed at the famous Cinecittà studios in Rome. It was an incredibly difficult shoot, 16 hours a day, 6 days a week for 9 months, often in intense heat, but ultimately it was worth it. The film won a record-breaking 11 Academy Awards, a record that to date has been tied but never beaten. Ben-Hur is surprisingly bloody for a movie from 1959. During the 1950s, a lot of filmmakers were chipping away at the boundaries of the production code, but filmmakers also knew they could get away with a lot more sex and violence if it was in a story connected to the Bible. Just ask Cecil B. DeMille. One of the other really notable things about this movie is the queer subtext. There's been a lot of debate as to where this actually started, but at least theoretically, Stephen Boyd plays Masala as if he and Judah had been lovers in their youth. And now when he comes back to ask for a favor, he feels spurned by his former lover. According to one of the scriptwriters, Stephen Boyd was totally on board with this, but everybody said don't tell Charlton Heston because he won't be able to handle it. I've seen Ben-Hur a number of times and I really dig this movie. It's big and expressive and emotional. Yeah, there are times when it's a bit too melodramatic, and it probably doesn't need to be over 3.5 hours long to say what it's trying to say about the destructive nature of hatred, but I'm telling you, it is the peak of Hollywood spectacle filmmaking. The naval battle, the big crucifixion finale, and of course that insane chariot race with some of the craziest stunt work you've ever seen. Ben-Hur is awesome, and they just don't make movies like that anymore. Up next, a very different but still great film, The Apartment. See you then.